Good morning, yogis. Welcome to your Rise and Shine morning yoga flow. This is going to be a great practice to really get you feeling strong and ready to tackle on whatever the day throws at you. You will need 2 blocks in order to do this practice. If you don't happen to have any blocks at home, don't worry about it. You can always supplement that by getting some really big books, or you can even use some very dense pillows or cushions, really anything that can give you a little bit of extra support and that can help close the gap between your hand and the floor, for example, and some of the more challenging poses that we might be doing. So we're going to start today's practice just by sitting up nice and tall, comfortable, any way that works for you. So for me, that's cross-legged, but if it's kneeling or sitting up on a block, that's perfectly fine as well. And we are going to start with a neck release. So one of my favorite things to do first thing in the morning after sleeping for so long. So you just need to bring your hands back behind you and interlace the fingers. And then you're gonna bring your palms all the way over to your left hip. So as far over to that left hip and the left side of your waist as you can. And then all you're going to do is let your left ear drop to your left shoulder. And you might need to play a little bit with the angle of your chin, tilting it up or down. Relax your jaw, close the eyes, and just breathe. So this will be a strong and powerful morning yoga class. Engaging through the core, the legs, the shoulders, and also, of course, giving you a nice stretch. Breathing in and out through the nose. And lift your head back up to center. We'll go to the other side so the knuckles can go all the way over to your other hip. Press your left shoulder down and away from the ear. Stay long and tall through the spine. And this time your right ear drops down to the right shoulder. You might notice that one side is a little tighter than the other. And you can play again with the angle of the chin. Let your head be heavy, relaxed. If this is your first time on my channel, doing one of my classes here on YouTube, welcome. I teach yin yoga and vinyasa flow and fitness, and I like to mix it up, but I'm glad that you've stumbled on my channel. Please do make sure that you subscribe. It does make a big difference in supporting free yoga on the internet, which I think we can all agree is a pretty cool thing. Free anything is a good thing. Take one last breath here, and we'll lift the head back up to center. Make your way into your tabletop pose on hands and knees. And from here, you'll probably want to have your blocks at the top of the mat on either side. Tabletop pose, the palms are underneath the shoulders, the knees are underneath the hips, and we're going to stretch into the wrists a little bit. So turn your fingers to point towards the knees. Spread the fingers wide and make sure that they are still straight. So we don't want the knuckles to start rounding. And for me, this is way more than enough. Other people might be able to start leaning their weight back a little bit towards the heels. Just do whatever works. Draw the shoulder blades down the back. Breathe in deeply. And we'll keep the fingers and the knuckles on the ground. Just start to lift the back of the palms off the mat and see if you can bend your elbows. So fingers, as always, stay as they are, just changing the stretch a little bit. And again, you might notice a huge difference in your dominant hand with the non-dominant one. So for example, I write with my right hand and it's a lot tighter than the left arm and the left hand. And release. Last one here. This time you're gonna bring the back of your hand on the mat. We're just gonna do it one hand at a time because I think it's too much trying to do both. So right hand down, spread the fingers wide, and just rock the way back slightly. You should feel this more in the front of your arm, front of your palm, into the wrists. And just like before, keep the knuckles down. Just start to lift the back of the palm and bend the elbow. And release. We'll move to the other side. So the back of your left hand now on the ground, elbow is straight. Spread the fingers nice and wide and just start to rock the way back slightly, just pushing a little bit into that wrist. So a lot of the poses that we'll be doing today will demand a little bit of our hands and our wrists. So we want to make sure that we're really warming them up properly. Start to lift the back of the wrist up, keep the fingertips down, bending into the elbow. So we'll be doing things like plank and side plank and all that kind of stuff. And lift it back up. So now let's curl the back toes under, let your hips sink down onto your heels, get a nice stretch into the soles of the feet. As you inhale, reach the arms up overhead, bring your palms together to touch. And as you exhale, open up to the right. So left arm forward, right arm back. Your right hip's gonna wanna pull a little bit, try to keep it facing straight forward. Inhale, lift up. And then exhale, open to the other side. So we want to warm up the upper back and open up the shoulders. Inhale, just 2 more times each side. Exhale, open. Inhale, lift. Exhale, open to the left. Last one, lifting up tall. Exhale, release. You should start to feel this in your feet. Twist left. Come all the way back to neutral, and let's make our way to our first downward facing dog. So hands are shoulder width distance apart, fingertips spreading wide, feet are hip width distance apart. And from this downward dog, we're gonna lift the right leg up to the sky, bend your right knee and open up your hip nice and wide. And we want to lubricate that hip joint a little bit. So start to create some circles with your right knee. So you're opening the knee up as much as you can, bringing it down and up. And I don't know about you, but my hip always makes a little popping, cracking noise when I do this, especially if it's first thing in the morning. Take about 1 more, elbows are straight, straighten and square your right leg, and then come forward to plank pose. You're gonna tap your right knee to your right shoulder, over to the left shoulder, into the center, and then step that foot forward between your palms. Let your back knee come down to the floor and grab a hold of your blocks. So in this low lunge, you want to keep the back toes curled under. Hands don't need to be on blocks. If the flexibility is there, you can bring your hands down. I prefer to use the block. As you inhale, press the hips forward and down, lift the chest, look up, really great hip flexor stretch. And on the exhale, straighten your front leg and fold it down. So let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, low lunge, lift and look up. So this is almost like a cat and cow. Exhale, fold. Moving with your breath, inhale. And hamstring stretch, exhale. We're gonna linger here a little bit longer, a few more breaths. So a morning practice is a beautiful way to set the tone and set the intention for the day ahead. So start to ask yourself, what kind of day do you want to have? What are you preparing for? If you could label this day with 1 word, what word would it be? And let's come back into a little low lunge with the back toes curled under. You can move your blocks off to the sides here. Arms will extend up overhead. Press your palms together, bend the elbows, and bring your thumbs to rest at the back of the head, and start to push your head into your palms as you lift the chest up. Coming all the way back up to center, bring your fingertips down just to touch the ground, lift the back knee off the mat, and you're gonna spin your back heel parallel to the short edge of your mat. We're coming up to warrior 2. So left arm up and then the right, and right away reverse. So left hand down, right arm extends up and over. So deep side bend, keep bending into your right knee and pressing that right knee open. Really stretch long through the right fingertips. And come back, warrior 2. Let's straighten our right leg. You might need to bring your back toes in a couple inches to narrow your stance. And we're gonna rock the hips back, lean your chest forward, and try to catch a hold of your shin here as you lift your left arm up. So we're gonna take some shoulder rolls or shoulder circles really just to open that left arm up a little bit more. So start to extend the left fingertips towards the front of the mat. Really feel that side body stretch, and then rotate the arm all the way back down and all the way back up. Take a few more like this. Keep breathing even as you move this arm. Still trying to keep your chest facing to the side. So for me, I feel this really intensely into my left hip and a lot into the shoulder. Finish up this last circle. And then once your left arm goes all the way to the top, maybe look up. And now looking down, bend into your front knee, frame the foot with both palms, lift the back heel off the mat. And we're gonna pull that right heel into the groin, lifting up and back, three-legged dog. Right leg extends, nice and tall. Squeeze the glutes, lift the heel up a little more. And then exhale, pull your knee into your nose, plank pose. 2 more times like this. Inhale, extend. Exhale, squeeze it in, shoulders over your wrists. Last one, inhale. And exhale, pull it in. Three-legged plank pose. Shoot that right leg back, keep it hovering. Chaturanga, all the way down. Point the toes back, press into the feet, cobra. We meet back, downward facing dog. Sequence on the second side. Reach your left leg up to the sky, bend your left knee, open up that hip, and then keep the shoulders and the elbows nice and straight and squared, and just create some circles with your left knee. So inviting that left hip to open up a little bit more. Powering up the glutes. Bring that left leg back up, straight and squared. Exhale, pull your knee in towards your left shoulder to plank, over to your right shoulder, over to the center, and then step that foot forward. Let the back knee come down to the floor. Bring your palms on blocks if you want. You don't have to do this if it doesn't feel good. Inhale to your low lunge, lifting the heart up, pressing the hips forward and down, and we exhale to fold over our left leg. 2 more times like this. Inhale and exhale. So taking the weight out of the wrists here. Last one. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, hamstring stretch, fold it in. And let's come back into this low lunge. With the back toes curled under, you can move the blocks off to the sides, reach your arms up overhead, press the palms together, bend the elbows, and as you push your head into your palms, think of lifting the chest up to the ceiling. Deep belly breath here, and we're coming to our reversed warrior 2, so you can just bring the fingertips down for support, curl the back toes under, lift the back knee off the mat, back foot parallel to the short edge of your mat, lead with the right arm, keep spinning it back, right hand down, left arm up. So your left knee is bending and pressing open. You're finding a nice side body stretch here. To your warrior 2. And let's straighten our left leg. Bring the back foot in just a couple inches to narrow your stance, coming into triangle. So hips go back, lean your chest forward, catch a hold of your shin so you can prop yourself up, and the right arm up. So we're gonna take those arm circles on the other side. Start to extend the right fingertips all the way to the top of the mat. Circle it down and lift it all the way back up. And as you lift up, think of pulling that shoulder back even further. Take a few more. Keep breathing as you do this. So we're really trying to target all the main muscle groups and all the major joints first thing in the morning so that we can feel a lot better during the rest of the day. Coming all the way back up, hold it there. Maybe look up at your top arm. And then looking down, we're gonna bend into that left knee and frame the front foot with both palms. Lift your back heel off the mat. Pull the left heel in towards the groin, so you're in that plank pose. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee into your nose, squeeze, pull it in tight. 2 more like this. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, squeeze, contract. Last one, inhale. Exhale, pull, hold it here, three-legged plank pose. Left leg shoots back. Exhale, chaturanga down to the mat. Press into the feet, lift up, breathe in deep. Exhale, downward facing dog. So So from this downward dog, let's reach our right leg up to the sky, straight and squared, and we're coming to a high lunge. So right foot forward in between the palms to the top of the mat, open the arms, circling wide all the way up. So right knee is bending generously. I need to bend my back knee a little bit too, otherwise if I straighten it, I crease a little too much in my low back. So we want to minimize that slope. Find your breath, your stability here. And we're gonna be stepping up into our warrior three. So I'm gonna bring the hands at the heart, rock your weight forward, shift the weight onto your right leg and extend the left leg up and back. Keep that left hip rotating down. So the thigh, the knee, and the toes are pointing down to the floor. Squeeze the glutes. At most, you are parallel to the mat, no more than that. And a little trickier, we're gonna go from here into our easy twist. So you bend the right knee, let the left toes come down to the mat, left hand down, right arm up. So stretching really long through that top arm. Keep your left shoulder plugging back, so drawing the shoulder blade down the back. And now we've done this before, we're gonna go from here to our reversed warrior two. So right fingertips down, back foot parallel to the short edge of your mat, left arm up, then the right keeps circling and windmilling back. Right knee is bending generously. Inhale, warrior two. And then exhale, extended side angle. Right forearm over your left thigh, left arm up and over. So some of you are going to stay here. This is option one. Option two is to take your half bind, left hand to your low back, pulling that shoulder back. So that same thing we were working on when we were doing our arm circles. If you want to take your your full bind, you can reach your right hand underneath your right thigh and maybe interlace the palms. So if you're doing this, we're not facing down to the floor. You're still drawing that left shoulder back, pressing into both feet evenly. Remember, you wanted a powerful practice. Look down to the floor, left hand down to the ground, right arm up to the sky. We're just coming back into that easy twist, same pose we were just in. Some of you maybe will want to stay here. If you'd like to go further, you're going to side plank. Roll to the outer edge of your left foot, stack the right leg over the left one, press into the feet, lift the hips up. Right hand down to the ground, plank pose, inhale, full chaturanga, exhale. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Press into the heels, stretch long through the arms. Slow, steady breaths. Let's extend our left leg up to the sky and then high lunge, left foot forward to the top of the mat. Press into the feet to lift up, circle the arms nice and wide. Palms are facing in towards one another. Left knee is bending generously. Back knee may or may not need to bend. Just depends how your low back and how your hips are. Try to slow down your breathing. Hands come together at the front of the heart. We're coming to warrior three. So you're standing on your left leg, shifting the weight onto that leg, whoops, as you lift the back leg up. A little bit of wobbling and falling is totally fine. Happens to everyone. And if someone says they've never fallen, I don't believe them. Think of drawing the navel into the low back. This is really what helps to protect your lower back in a pose like this because it can be kind of hard. It's definitely a challenging pose. And we're going from this one into our easy twist. So the left knee bends, right hand comes down, right toes come down, left arm extends up. Think of plucking that right shoulder back, so head of the arm bone back. Stretch long through the arms, reverse warrior two. Left hand down, back foot parallel to the short edge of your mat. Right arm up, left arm circles all the way back. Keep bending your left knee. Warrior two. Extended side angle, left forearm over your left thigh, right arm reaches up and over, pull that right shoulder back. So again, you can take a half bind, bringing your right hand to your lower back and just pulling that shoulder, or you can take your full bind, left arm underneath the palm, drawing it back, pulling the navel in, keeping that left knee generously bent, looking wherever works for your neck. Back to our easy twist. Right hand down, left arm up, back heel comes off the floor. So remember, you're welcome to hang out here, or you transition to your side plank, rolling to the outer edge of that right foot, pressing into the feet to lift the pelvis. Plank pose, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. Create some space in the arms, the low back. Lengthening out. And let's bring the knees back down to the floor. So this is an intermediate to advanced practice, so I'm going to go into a supported headstand next. You're welcome to join me. If this is not something that you feel like doing this morning or not something that you are ready to do, then I welcome you to just take a child's pose or even legs up the wall. Whatever, if there's another inversion that you know and love, you can come into it now. If you want to practice your supported headstand, you can interlace your fingers and plant the knuckles down. You want to make a little triangle shape with the elbows. I have a bunch of tutorials on my YouTube channel if you want to go really in depth, because right now, because it's intermediate to advanced, I'm kind of just going to go into it. But if you are more beginner intermediate, definitely watch those tutorials. I'll try to put the link down below. So supported headstand, crown of the head comes down between the elbows, tucking the toes under, lifting the hips up and back, and just walking the toes in. You can either put one foot in and then the other, you can kick up, or you can just use your core strength and lift the legs up, pressing up to your headstand. Maintain some engagement through the legs, squeezing through the inner thighs. I love to do an inversion in the morning. It's one of the best ways to get a great big boost of energy. And it quite literally gives you a new perspective. So especially if you're not super looking forward to the day ahead, I recommend doing this pose or any other kind of inversion. And we'll start to come back down. Take a little child's pose wherever you are. Hips to the heels, arms go back. And relax. And let's curl ourselves back up. And just take a seat. We'll take a butterfly fold. So we're starting to close our practice. We'll bring the soles of the feet together to touch. Knees go wide. Bring your hips as close as you would like to your heels. Lifting on the inhale. And then exhale, hinge forward. So I'm making this more of a flat back, so a little bit more active of a pose. If I were to round, then of course you can go a lot further, but I want to make this more, just a little more dynamic and active. So think of lengthening the spine. You can even push down on the legs slightly, draw the shoulders away from the ears, and breathe. Navel is hugging in. One more deep breath. And come all the way back up. Let's help the knees come back in towards each other. Extend your legs straight out. And we'll take from here just a little twist. So you can bring your right knee in, bending that knee, and then cross your right foot over the left thigh. Bring your right fingertips back behind you to help lift the chest up. Inhale, left arm rises, and then exhale to twist. You can hook your left elbow to your right thigh, drawing the right shoulder back. Lower belly hugging in and up. So no rounding and contracting here. We're staying lifted and tall. And facing forward once more. Before we do the other side, just bring your right foot to the inside of your left thigh. Arms reach up overhead, and then exhale, fold. I'm working with a bit of a hamstring injury here on this side, so I'm really not gonna go too far, and I'm gonna keep my knee bent. You're welcome to do the same, or you can straighten that leg and go all the way down. Pressing a little bit down through that left heel and dragging it back, while extending the crown of the head forward. Again, this is more of an active forward fold, so we want to keep the spine nice and long. And we'll lift back up. Right leg goes out, twisting on the other side, bend the left knee, and then cross your left ankle over the right thigh. Left fingertips go behind you. Inhale, right arm rises, twist. Right elbow to the left leg, pull the left shoulder back. Keep pressing into your big left toe so you're not rolling to the outer edge of that foot. And we'll unwind. Left foot to the inside of your right thigh. Both arms extend straight up. Move into your forward fold. Catch a hold of whatever you can. Maintaining as much of a flat back as is possible. I know it's definitely really challenging, and often I always think what I'm doing is a flat back, and then I'll look over at the video and think I was really rounded. It's kind of hard to intuitively feel it out. So that's why I do encourage most people to actually videotape yourself every now and then doing yoga. I know it's a little weird and you have to get used to it, but you will learn a lot, especially if you're not working one-on-one with a teacher and you don't get corrections. So if most of the stuff you're learning is from YouTube, definitely watch yourself every now and then. It's a great learning opportunity. And we're gonna come back up. So have your blocks with you. As you come up, we're just gonna go back into our supported fish. So closing off our practice, we'll do supported fish and then Shavasana. So you can put the blocks either on their lowest height or mid height. I like mid height. One block goes in between the shoulder blades. The other goes at the back of the head. So a really great heart opener. And you can either keep your legs out straight, or I'm just gonna bring them in a butterfly shape because it feels real nice. And you can readjust. And take about 10 or so very deep breaths here. This is another great opportunity to set the tone for the day ahead. the breath travel all the way down the front body, the throat, the chest, the belly, all the way down to the pelvis. Come back together. We're going to come to Shavasana so you can get out or off of your blocks, tucking the chin to the chest, moving one block out, and then use the help of your forearms just to move the other one and let yourself come all the way down. You might want to pull the knees into the belly if that feels comfortable. I'm just going to go right into Shavasana, taking up space with the arms and the legs, turning the palms to face up. So because this is a morning class, if you're worried that you're gonna fall back asleep and miss whatever you need to do after, you can do a seated meditation instead. Otherwise, we'll take about 5 minutes here. Start to deepen your breath so you can wake back up and move the fingers and toes or turn the head from side to side. Reaching the arms overhead, take a great big stretch. And we'll roll to the side, coming up to take a seat. Eyes can stay closed as you do this. Hands can rest on the knees or join together at the front of the heart. One final moment, setting the intention for the day ahead. We'll close our practice with a chant of Om one time, inhaling to chant. So breathe in. Om. Namaste. Thank you so much, yogis, for doing this very powerful morning yoga class with me. I hope you feel ready and energized for the day ahead. Let me know what you thought of this class. Leave me a comment. I really love to make this channel more of a dialogue and to be able to get to know you guys and interact. And if you have any requests for classes, I mean, I have something like 200 classes already on my YouTube channel, but I'm always looking to create more, obviously. So if you have a request, let me know down below in the comments, and I look forward to practicing again with you soon. Please do subscribe to my channel. Hitting that button is 100% free, and it does a lot to help support my channel and the work that I do here on YouTube. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great day. Namaste.